Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers Show. I'm your host Murph, and I got to tell you, we got a good one today on the old program. We got lots of people to talk about. Do a little talk about a festival, interesting outcome with the Barclays problem in London that we've talked about. We got the Eagles, we got Kid Rock, R.E.M, Tom Morello. Def Leppard, Toto. We're actually going to be talking about Toto this show, which is very exciting. Sheila E. And oh man, we got a weird ass study we have to talk about, but I can't do it without my co-host from Wayne's World, Aurora, Illinois. That would be Doc Fox. What's going on, Doc?
Yeah, doing all right. Ready for another week's worth of rock news, and yeah, man, summer's here,
Yeah,
and the
yeah. No,
time is right for dancing in the
in
snow.
the streets.
It's concert season, it's festival season, and kind of the stories we got this week kind of reflect that. So first,
Yeah,
starting off with
Riot Fest.
my personal favorite festival, Riot Fest,
That's a
and
Chicago, a Chicago exclusive, right? Riot
oh
Fest
yeah,
is
yeah.
just
At
in
this point,
Chicago.
yeah, it didn't used to
Okay.
be, but yeah, it is at this point. So, yeah, they got some new stuff going on there.
Yeah, yeah, they moved it out of Chicago to a suburb, Bridgeview. They moved it out. I think Bridgeview is a little bit west of the city of Chicago, and they moved it out to a place
That's over there by the Midway.
by the Midway Airport
Yeah,
there. Uh,
over there by the Jewels.
well, they moved it to Seat Geek Stadium, which is what they call it here. And then they renamed it Riot Land. So Seat Geek Stadium will become Riot Land for 3 days or so. And Great. Bridgeview. Wow. You know what the big selling point is? We have parking. Boom. You know, that's a big thing. Parking. Parking's
Well,
everything when you
yeah,
get
they've been
old.
battling with the Park District ever since they brought it to. They're leaving Douglas Park, which is a big park in Chicago, and prior to that, they had to place Humboldt Park, and
Right.
even prior to them, there was a version where it was just like at different clubs and stuff like that. But yeah, Riot Fest's been around for a long time, and the alderwoman of that area, she wanted to keep it. She was fighting to keep it,
Yeah.
and it just seemed like the park district kind of caved into a small vocal group that didn't want it there, and
Mm.
so now they're moving out to yeah, it's a soccer stadium.
Is it? Okay.
SeatGeek Stadium, yeah, that's where it is. Chicago, or whatever. I don't even know what soccer team, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
they play, and so they have concerts there and stuff. From what I understand, it's not a real accessible place. My first thought was, I've been to Riot Fest like I don't know 8 or 9 times. I
Wow.
love it.
Really?
That's my festival, man. I started
Wow.
going in 2012. I guess seven, 8 times. So that's many times.
Many, many,
And
many.
recent last couple of years, this kind of laid back because there's really, I mean, you're just out in the open to the elements. There's no shade. There's nowhere to sit.
Ah.
You're just out there, and it's for a man of my years, it could be a marathon, man. It could be tough to, especially for a 3 day festival like that.
Yeah.
So
How about
I've
that?
been kind of looking for maybe there's a 1 or 2 day that I want to pop in, but honestly, the past lineups haven't really thrilled me enough to kind of get in. So, but yeah, hearing that they're going to have this place where there's going to be seats, I'm like, okay, all right, let's find out
Oh,
what the
that's
lineup's
nice.
going to be. And the lineup doesn't really thrill me a whole lot, man. It's they're
Wow.
known for a lot of old punk bands, which that's me. I'm
That was
old
your
punk
thing.
guy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my
That is
thing.
your
So
thing, man.
and God, I've seen so many bands there, punk and otherwise over the years. I just, I can go on about. I really love it. But this year, the headliners on Friday night they have Fallout Boy. I could do without. Saturday night they have co-headliners Beck, who I've seen part of, and
Yeah.
Pavement, an old band from the '90s, who very influential. You listen to Pavement. I got one of their CDs, Slanted and Enchanted, and you hear a lot of little stuff that you hear from other bands later. He's like, okay, that's where they got that. Okay,
Ah,
they're
okay.
one of those kind of
Oh, the old
bands.
schools.
And
Yeah.
then Sunday is the closing it up is the big Slayer reunion.
Oh, yeah. That
So
we
yeah,
talked about on previous shows. Yeah.
they've been talking about that for a while. So, but other than that, not doesn't
Well,
really
the
thrill me a whole
second
lot.
liners, the second liners, they got Offspring, Saint Vincent, Rob Zombie, Public Enemy, and I can't even read the rest of these. Dr. Dre? Is that Dr. Dre? Could be.
No, some other doctor, something.
Dr.
Dr.
Dog.
Dog, I think it said.
Dr.
Yeah,
Dog.
yeah,
Sublime. Okay, I can read it. Okay. But yeah, I like I say, I wouldn't go anyway. But so if it's a soccer stadium, they got to have a boatload of parking anyway. So that's got to be a big plus. Did they
yeah.
have parking when you went into the
No,
suburb
going to
ones? Did
Douglas,
they?
no,
Right,
going. It's just
regular
neighborhood
streets.
residential
Wow.
parking.
See,
Yeah, just
therein
and
lies
just
the problem.
walking however many blocks, wherever you found your parking spot. So,
Oh boy.
fortunately, I found a pretty decent spot that people seem to avoid for some reason. It was kind of on the other side of it a little bit, and and then for years, yeah, I
Other
parked there,
side of the
and
tracks.
yeah,
Ah,
kind of a little
okay.
bit. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, hey, all right. But yeah, some of the other bands that got their Public Enemy, a couple of hip hop acts that I have seen there before and enjoyed immensely. Public Enemy and Cypress Hill, they're both
Ah,
playing. Another band, Spoon. I like Spoon. And
okay.
some old school punk bands, No Effects with Fat Mike. They've kind of unofficially retired, I guess, but seem to
Yeah.
pop up now and then. The Descendants, one of my
Sure.
favorites.
Oh,
I've seen
I
them
dig them.
before.
Sure.
The Buzzcocks, I've seen them, but I saw them back with Pete Shelley, who's no longer with us, but probably still a good show. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, Offspring, we've seen them. Clutch, seen them. Circle Jerks, where my Circle Jerks t-shirt
All
today?
right.
I have not seen the Circle Jerks, but I would like to. Some other old school punk bands, Dead Milkmen, DOA. Well, I have the poster behind me here, the DOA poster.
Oh, yeah.
Dickies, Vandals, Exploited. So some good old school punk.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
other than that, kind of mixed in with a lot of other newer stuff that I
Well,
could
they got
probably do.
some hardcore Lamb of God,
Right.
Mastodon,
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that. So it's all
yeah.
over the place. Suicidal tendencies. Ugh. If you go there, you're going to end up with suicidal tendencies. Hopefully not, because you won't be watching our program then. So that would be a
I
problem.
saw them, I don't know,
You
at
did see
Riot
them.
Fest one time,
Okay.
and
All right.
the teen angst thing kind of wears thin when you're in your 40s. It just doesn't come across the same, when you're on stage
Doesn't have
trying
the
to,
same bite.
yeah, it doesn't quite work. But
Oh
yeah, I
boy.
don't know, still kind of consider it. They haven't put out the day-to-day schedules yet, but maybe if there's like a Saturday where a good number of the bands I want to see are on that one day,
Yeah, we'll see.
might
September
consider it, man.
20, 21, and 22nd.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But boy, oh boy,
Um,
another one. Yeah,
Before
bucket
we
head.
let this go, I just want to nerd out on some more old school punk
Sure,
stuff here.
sure.
An old school Australian punk band who I think is fantastic. A band called the Saints, who people
Okay.
probably not familiar with, but maybe there's one person out there that knows the Saints. Say
Uh,
yes, Doc, preach. And they're an Australian band, which I was always fascinated because you had the scene going in New York and London, but then there's another scene in Australia, in the '70s. And the
bloody
Saints,
well.
they're calling themselves the Saints 1973 to 1978. And there's a little bit of a controversy because their front man, Chris Bailey, he passed in 2022.
Huh?
And they're replacing him with the front man, Mark Arm, people may know from Mudhoney.
Ah,
And I guess the estate, the family of Chris Bailey aren't too happy about it. They haven't been consulted and that kind of thing. But quite honestly, do they need to be? I don't know.
yeah. No, no. The band
But
moves on. What the hell are you supposed
yeah,
to
band
do?
moves on kind of thing.
Ah,
So,
jeez.
but yeah, just something I wanted to throw out there just for me to
I'll be
get my
darned. The
old
Saints
school punk nerd on there
of
while we're talking about it.
Australia. You ever see that video from Australia where the kangaroo's got the dog in a headlock, and the owner comes running up, and the kangaroo lets the dog, and he squares up with the owner of the dog,
I
and
That
the owner
sounds
of the
vaguely
dog
familiar.
whacks him in the nose, and the kangaroo just sort of stands there stunned, and then trots off. But yeah, he could have
Hey,
kicked the
them
guy to
Aussies
hell.
got to know how to box kangaroos, man.
Hey, you
That's like
got my
part of life. That's
dog.
normal life down there, man.
Yeah,
That's like
gotta
it's
be
like
able to
hailing a cab or something, man. You
gotta
gotta know how
box
to.
a roo. Yeah,
Hey, you know how
yeah.
to box a roo.
Okay, hey, moving on. Here we go. We talked about this, quite honestly, and it has come to fruition. We were talking about the Barclays situation with the festivals in England, and the bands have been all uptight. And I think it was the last show or the show before we talked where they were that certain bands were boycotting festivals because Barclays was tied into promoting the festival, funding it, and yet at the same time they're it's a bank, so they're giving loans to guys who make munitions and whatnot. So the musicians started getting all ticked off about it, and I'll be darned if it just come out that Barclays is backing out. I think all the festivals at this point. Well, let me see. Barclays will no longer be sponsoring Download, Isle of Wight, or Latitude festivals following the escalating protests and cancellations by musicians and comedians. So here we go, man. They got their way, but I think that's gonna. I bet it comes back to bite them. You need
Yep.
people to fund these things. They just don't happen by themselves. So, oh boy, I just think I don't. I just think it's gonna come back to bite them because stuff like this usually does. I don't know how much support they were given to these festivals. But boy, with the way we've been talking about the cancellation of festivals
Yep.
over there this year, just the fact that they're even doing this is, biting off their nose to spite their face. What do you think?
Yeah, this kind of ties into a couple stories. Yeah, we've been talking about how the festival and rock venue existence over there is not doing very well, and here's a sponsor that's willing to put the money up to sponsor these type of events, and yeah, like I said, they're kind of biting their nose, or biting their nose, cutting
Well,
off their nose to
to
spite their
spite their
face.
face. Yeah,
Yeah, and so now they don't sponsor, and this would be endless. There'll be other sponsors that have some line and lineage of something that's unwoke that
exactly.
and then
Exactly.
yeah. So where does this stop? But yeah, they kind of fold, and we talked about it before too, where there was kind of precedent for this, where they were back in the 80s and 90s. They had loans that went out to in South of Africa and had the whole apartheid thing going
Uh
on,
huh. Yeah.
and they were getting a lot of pushback and a lot of boycotting and that kind of protesting back then, and they caved back then. And
Mm.
so I'm sure the protesters this time kind of knew that hey, there's been a precedent of that, and I thought, I don't know, here's a target that maybe we can make a move on, and sure enough, they
Yeah, here we
they
go.
did.
They combined music and politics and screwed everything up, and it ended up happening because whoever the heck found out that Barclays has quote invested over 100 million pounds into General Dynamics, which provides gun systems to the fighter jets which are being used by Israel to bombard Gaza. Ugh, war sucks, but I don't know. I just think they're it's gonna come back to bite them.
Yeah,
They
they
can
didn't
do their good
mention
deeds.
one of the festivals, the Great Escape Festival. Remember, it was like practically everybody. There was like
Yeah,
150
hundred.
bands boycotted that, but they weren't on the list there of the ones. So I don't know. They've already had that festival, so they're not including that one. I'm not sure, but yeah, of course, a few of our rock stars they got to chime in on it. And Tom Morello,
Oh
he
boy.
made a supportive statement on it. We'll talk about him in a little bit on something else too. But he made a supportive statement because this all got to do with Gaza. This is all with the
Mm-hmm.
Gaza war, and so he made a supportive statement on that. And then we hear from our buddy David Draymond,
Oh boy.
who
Uh,
yeah, he goes in a statement, and just to paraphrase, kind of just say,
I got it right here. You want me to?
yeah,
You want me to
well,
do
just
my?
be, yeah, sure, yeah, go ahead.
Says my old friend. So sad to see that you view Jews and Israel as, quote, the machine. Music is supposed to be a bridge to bring people together. All
Right.
people. It's a path to mutual understanding and greater coexistence. This helps no one. Well, he's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, boy. I don't know. I just
Yep.
always, I'm sure, Tom Morello, great guitar. He just rubs me wrong. He's just too much of a, almost like a commie cripe. Well, you'll see. I got a picture of him coming up. It just doesn't look good. But whatever,
Yeah, they
think
may
they're gonna.
end up regretting it. Here's a major
They
sponsor
will.
for those festivals that are really suffering, man. They're really barely getting by or not even getting by.
Yeah,
And
and packing it
let's get
up.
rid of one of our major sponsors because we don't like their politics. So, I don't know.
It's not even politics. It's
Yeah,
business.
it's
To
business. Their
them, it's
business.
business.
Exactly. You're right. Yeah,
That's
you're
what they're
right.
in the business to do, people.
Yeah, there is no
So,
politics. There's just
so
dollars. Yeah, or
we'll see
pounds
how
in
it
that case.
goes. We'll see how it goes, man. I don't dig it, but what do you do? Speaking of digging it, what do we got up here next? Oh, the Eglos. The good old Eagles, for crying out loud. There they are. Oh boy, all handsome and whatnot. By golly, they're gonna be doing a stint, brother, in the good old Las Vegas Sphere. How about that? Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're gonna do like a 4 week stint in the Las Vegas Sphere, and it's only the fourth band to play there so far.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What they have? They had gosh,
Well, U2 was the one that they opened it up,
you two then Fish,
and they
where
had
the guy's a
Fish.
stoner with his bong, and
Yeah,
then
and then
Dead
they
and
had the
Company are there right
yeah,
now. They're doing
yeah.
it. They're into current residency, so they're going to be going on in there after that and far out. More power to 'em. I read somewhere where that's losing money. The Sphere, it cost over $1 billion to make, and it's not making any money. And then I see here in the article how they wanted to build one in London, and
Right, yeah,
last November, London Mayor Sadiq Khan vetoed plans for a Sphere venue, figuring it would, just basically overwhelm the community. Because it really does. Let's face it, Vegas is the place for it. You don't want to put it in an old, old London neighborhood, bloody well going to get your bangers and mash,
yeah,
and here's this big freaking ball with a big eyeball or whatever staring at you. Yeah,
right.
yeah, but well, and the thing is, they bought the land and everything. The investors said after spending millions of pounds acquiring our site in Stratford and collaboratively engaging in a 5 year planning process with numerous governmental bodies, including the local planning authority, who approved our plans following careful review, we cannot continue to participate in a process that is merely a political football between rival parties. Here we go. Politics screws everything up.
Everything,
But
man,
at the same
everything.
time, you don't want to spear in jolly old London.
Yeah, but it might be
Maybe.
good. The mayor's kind of stepping up. He's probably wiser than they think. He's kind of seeing that it's not in the better interest of the community, and hey, we're going to pass. So
Put it in Piccadilly Circus, maybe.
right.
And because it's
How
not a
about Kings
circus at
Road?
all. Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, good gosh almighty. So
Yeah, it's
that,
a
yeah,
it's a 20,000 seat capacity, and so it's like United Center size, so it's a good size place.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, it just seems just a matter of time. Going to probably have all the big rock bands, all the big legendary rock bands that go through there. So
Yeah, yeah, they should, leave
the
your bongs at home.
tickets start at 175 is a cheap
That
seat.
considering the spear,
That's
I
not bad.
consider that reasonable as
Yeah, it's not
hell.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, for the
And
spear,
then they have
man.
a VIP package where you get the
Ah,
hotel and the whole deal and everything. Almost $1,500,
well, they're rich
which
people
really,
down there.
by today's standards, is not outrageous. Really, I thought it'd be more, but
No, no, no. That's hell, that's a deal. I'll take it, man. Come on.
so yeah,
But
eight
yeah,
shows from September 20th to October 19th. So a month
I'll
there, they
be
got eight
darned.
shows. So
Good for them. Hope I'd love to get there, but I'm sure I never will. But that's a
uh,
very cool place. But yeah, let's move on. Oh, this is funny. You sent me this with the LOL, and I had to. We have to address this to our listeners. This is the meme that came out. It said like Kid Rock has sold out his whole tour, basically 30 shows of his tour, and God, we knew right away that sucked. So I looked it up, and there's tickets to every damn show. And that's the problem with the internet. You can just post bullshit, and you really have to be conscious. Thank you for pointing that out. You really have to be conscious of what this is, because this is all over the internet. I saw it, and then the posting site was like, oh, defense something of something. It's something defensive something. And I knew right away it wasn't a legitimate thing. So yeah, I looked it up, and there's Kid Rock tickets, and some of the shows they're as low as $80 right now. So that's it ain't a scalper right there. It's $80, but there's a whole list of shows. So here we go with the internet trying to screw with people again. And he told out faster than Taylor Swift. Well, we know we've seen what that gal's done. No, she's as a matter of fact, I think she just finished her tour, or she's coming up on the final day of her tour or something. She's been on tour this whole time, Doc. Christ, for
gosh,
like 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, I thought I was done when the movie came out or whatever. Yeah, she was still
Oh
going. Yeah.
man, oh man. But yeah, so Kid Rock didn't sell out all his tours. He just, he's Kid Rock. I imagine he'll probably sell some out, but I don't know. We saw him. We saw him
Well,
a
you
couple
remember
years
when we
back.
saw him? That was the biggest crowd of the year. So I mean, he definitely has a following. I thought the concert was horrible, quite honestly. And
I know, yeah, that was
we
terrible.
enjoyed it all. It was bad. I didn't like it,
Just a
but
lot of f bombs and shit with all the little
yeah,
kids running around. Because it's all American. A Kid Rock. He's
yeah,
all American. All he's doing is throwing f bombs all night long. It's like I wouldn't want to have him.
yeah.
I
I
wouldn't
guess
want
what
my kid here.
Yeah, no, I
So
think this was like a right wing kind of propaganda kind of thing here. The name of his tour is the No Snowflakes Tour. So
yeah.
this is from a site. Reagan was right. So that there gives you an idea where it's coming from. And it said, yeah, the No Snowflakes Tour sells out 30 shows in under an hour, breaks Taylor Swift's record. And of course, says, yeah, just bullshit. Which just to let you guys know, in the course of putting these shows together, we come across so much unbelievable, so much clickbait and just
Oh,
outright bullshit. And a
oh,
lot of the clickbait, you go through and it's just uninteresting and it's not, just a waste of time. But then some of it's just out and out, just bullshit like this that we come
the original,
across. And
the originator of this, the site is, I can read it now. It's backwards on my screen, but it's America's Last Line of Defense. That's
okay,
where it
there you
came
go.
from. And then that Reagan thing reposted it. But see,
Okay.
they post a bunch of crap. Internet's horrible, man. At the same time, here we are. So, you got to deal with it. But yeah,
But you know what? It's just from our experience. You see a headline like that, and we're like, no, Kid Rock couldn't have sold out like that. And
yeah.
sure, our instincts were
Right
correct. And
away I go to the search engine and okay, let's do a little research, and then right away, all you have to do is punch that in to the search engine. Kid Rock sold out concerts, and all it comes up is ticket sites with Kid Rock tickets. It's like, well, I don't think
these
that.
aren't secondhand ticket sales.
No,
This is
no,
from
not when it's 80
Ticketmaster. And
bucks.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
80 buck ticket. Yeah. So whatever. Nice try there, America's Last Line of Defense or whatever the hell. Here's an interesting story I thought we should look into. R.E.M. Michael Stipe. Yeah, they got together. They reunited for the first performance with the original lineup since the mid 90s. Wow. Just a one off, apparently, right, Doc?
Yeah, they went to the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and that was one thing with them too. I don't know a lot of people know they were all four equal songwriters. They were on everything they ever did. They're
That's
all
why they're all
four.
still friends.
Yeah, yeah, and they're
It's
all still
like
friends. They get along and everything.
all the money's
And
divided equally amongst the
yep,
four,
yep.
and
You
it's
know,
just
share the
beautiful.
royalties. Yep, share
Boom.
the royalties four
And they
ways.
own their
Everything.
masters. They
Right.
own the masters, and that all. So yeah, they gotta all be real happy, and yeah, good for them for getting together.
And so yeah, remember their drummer, old Monobrow there.
Yeah,
He bowed out in mid '95. They were doing a tour. They were in Switzerland, and he had a double brain aneurysm. Which, quite honestly, he's lucky to be alive. I would think, right?
yeah.
I'm not a real doctor. I just call myself Doc, but I think he would be. Yeah, but
Wow,
yeah, so he bowed out then, and he's just lived like a quiet life, man. I think he's just been like on a farm or just I don't know what he's doing, just a real
good for
quiet
him.
life. So he
Good for
hasn't been
him.
doing anything in that whole time. And then of course they hung it up for good, quitting 2011. My gosh, it's been 13 years already. R.E.M.
Wow.
called it quits, but yeah, getting inducted in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. They did an acoustics version of "Losing My Religion" with the original four guys, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. How about that? Yeah, we are four people that very early on decided that we would own our masters and we would split our royalties and songwriting credits equally, all for one and one for all. Boy,
Yep,
that's why they're friends.
yep.
Really, you can't go wrong with that kind
I've always
of
kind of saw a
setup.
parallel with them and you too, where they kind of do it that way. It's been the same four guys. They kind of started about the same time. They were kind of in that same kind of alternative music realm, kind of always kind of the Irish and American version of each other, maybe a little bit. But yeah, not a big REM guy, but definitely all right.
Yeah, well,
Take him or leave him, but
they,
whatever.
And they were around for the MTV years. I especially remember the song "Stand." What a
Right?
quirky, goofy little song. And but I remember a lot of his songs. He just whined a lot, you know. It's like God, this guy's whining, man.
Everybody hurts.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. So
And
you
some of
get
their earlier stuff though. It's nice Sunday morning music kind of,
yeah. Well,
some of the
good for
earlier
them. It's
stuff,
good to see one of the old school bands, all four members still alive, get together, and enjoy each other's company.
Yeah,
So,
no animosity at all. They're all just the best of
boy,
friends,
that's a rarity. That is
Yeah.
such a rarity in the rock world these days, man. Well, geez, we talk about it all the time. Band members at each other's throats, old band members, this, that, geez. So it's really refreshing, even though, like I say, I'm not a big REM fan, but they're doing things right, man. So, boy, they got to be happy with themselves. So, that's all I got to say about that. All right, moving on. Yeah, we just talked about Tom Morello. Ah, there he is. See, that hat sort of looks like a commie hat, if you will. A Chinese something Chinese would wear. Yeah, that's sort of gnarly. But he's putting out his first album. Songs from China. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's putting out, and he's got a single out, "Soldier in the Army of Love." Oh, that's sweet. So, good for him,
Yeah, that
man.
doesn't sound like a Tom Morello song, man. Soldier, sure, a soldier in the army of, but
Yeah,
then
yeah, and
love, and
love, soldier in the army of capitalism or
yeah,
communism. That'd be
yeah,
better. But yeah, so there he goes, man. And I'm not surprised. Rage Against the Machine. They're and they're I got to be done. He's just basically on his own forever. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. So there you go, man. He's putting out his own deal there, brother. What do you think about that?
yeah. He's got as of yet, an unnamed solo coming out later this year. They're saying, but the single, yeah, they'll be coming out June 28th. Co-written with his quotes, guitar wizard son. So I can only
Oh,
imagine if he's calling his son a guitar wizard, what he's got going on. Named Roman Morello. So Tom Morello, I don't know. I do think he's a very talented guitar player. I've seen him with Springsteen. He was with Springsteen on a few shows. With one of them I got to see, and I wish he would have joined the E Street Band. That'd been fabulous. But
oh,
yeah, no, he's a great performer, great. But yeah, his politics
got great. Yeah, suck. You got a great
a little
Stratocaster
too left
tone.
for me. But yeah,
Great Stratocaster tone. Here's a funny thing. He railed against Barclays. Uh, Let me see. Tom was the sole member of the Rage Against the Machine who attended the band's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony last November at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Ah, you hypocrite!
oh, the irony.
Oh, gosh almighty. There you go. But, he is what he is. What do you do, man? What do you do? You could I can tell his tone a mile away. I can tell that's the beauty of a great guitarist.
Yep,
You don't have to even know the song. You just
a
know the
signature
tone,
sound, man. Yep, the
signature sound,
tone.
man. And he's got that going on. But gosh, man, come on, pro America, man. Whatever. I don't care
Local
at this
boy
point.
from Libertyville, Illinois.
Oh gosh, what happened up there, Libertyville? Jeez, wow. Also, here we go. Tom Morello's also uh, playing with Def Leppard here. They released a new single, just like '73, and it features Tom Morello. Wow, how about
That's an
that?
odd pairing. We've been seeing a few odd pairings here lately. I don't know if that's a trend or what, but I would never expect Def Leppard to join up with Tom Morello or vice versa. Just I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Of the collaboration, Def Leppard singer Joe Elliott shares. It encapsulates a time that burns deep into our DNA. We wanted to celebrate that very important and glorious time. What the hell are you talking about, man? Jeez.
Well, the
The hell?
song just like '73 are kind of paying homage to that. You know, the
Yeah.
sound back, which a great year for music, a good year to pick for sure.
Yeah, and Phil Collin ads. When I saw David Bowie on TV between 72 and 73, everything I thought I knew about music went from black and white to vivid technicolor. Our song, just like
I can
73,
dig that.
represents that awakening. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Good for them. Hell, they don't have to do shit. I'm sure they're filthy rich. I'm sure they didn't keep their masters, but I'm sure they still made the money. See, that's the important thing about these bands. If you can keep your publishing, maintain your publishing, because that's where the money is down the road with publishing, especially if you got popular songs, man. Woo, doggy. You want to save that stuff. So, Def Leppard and Tom Morello. Wow, he's getting around, man. He's getting around. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, we've already, the big controversy about Def Leppard playing with tracks and stuff. Of course,
Right.
that's still ongoing, and I still believe totally watching him on stage and how perfect the harmony
Yeah.
vocals are, how
Absolutely polished. Yeah.
angelic. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't do that shit live. So come on, stop it, man. If I may do a quote, stop it, man. But yeah, so there you go. Oh, hey, I love this. Oh, just who redid this song, Africa? Who redid it?
Weezer.
Weezer
Yeah.
redid the
Yeah. Yeah.
song Africa. Yeah, yeah. Where is it? There it is. There's Toto's Africa right there. Toto's video for Africa has now been watched. They've reached that club, brother. The
Yep.
YouTube 1 billion club. Wow. Yeah, yeah. It joined Baby Shark Dance. How about that? Oh, Baby Shark Dance has been viewed 14 billion times. So that's sick. We're in a sick world, Doc. I gotta
Not
say.
one of them for me, man. So
Nope, nope. I imagine I was in a room because I did have granddaughters hanging around the house, and they had access to the TV and YouTube. So I'm sure I've heard it. It's just I know
well,
it's
that's how they get them.
annoying
They
as
just
hell.
sit and watch that stuff over and over and
Over and
over and over for
yeah, yeah,
hours.
yeah. Well, 3 years ago, uh, uh, they hit the billion stream mark on Spotify. And so now, 3 years after that, bam, they hit the billion on YouTube, which I imagine is more substantial. That Spotify you can listen anywhere. YouTube you sort of have to watch. Well, you don't have to watch, but they usually do. So
Well, if you get in
that's
the
a pretty big
video, yeah,
deal.
you're actually watching the video because there's so much on YouTube where it's just the song or whatever. So if you're watching the official video, yeah, it would be
But
more of an effort, I
and here
suppose.
here's
And I would love to see the ratio of that as far as like songs that have reached both. There've been like great songs and not such great videos, and great videos, not such great songs. But you know what I mean? You know,
yeah,
how that worked out. I don't know, just interesting.
yeah. Like I say, Baby Shark 14 billion. The rock songs on the most played list are headed up by Maroon Five's Sugar and Girl Like You. That breaks my heart, man.
That doesn't count.
That is 4 billion and 3.6 billion respectively. And then a few other members of the Billion Club, Guns N' Roses, November Rain, and Sweet Child of Mine. God, I hated playing that
Yeah, every
song.
time we bring one of these up, they say approaching 500, and the last one we did was actual 498. So
Yeah,
unless there's been another one that we haven't reported on, this be 499. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
very
Africa.
exclusive type club. Yeah, if you put it, it would be 2,372,685 days worth of watching Africa. People always
Wow.
say, people always get the lyric wrong. It's "I bless the rains,
I was going to
Doc."
say that. It's not, I felt the rain in Africa.
I miss
Everybody
the
feels the
rains.
rain.
It's "I bless the rains." Yeah,
I bless the rains in Africa. I don't know
and this
why.
this
They don't
video's
need
gotten a
blessing.
it's gotten a lot of crap for being racist.
Thank you for bringing it up. There, Doc Vox, Aurora's favorite son. I watched the video just because that shocked me that when they said that. Can I read
Absolutely.
this art this okay, it says here in the article, despite Paish's apparent innocent intentions, the video for Africa, directed by Steve Barron, who was responsible for the classic clips that accompanied Michael Jackson's Billie Jean and Take on Me by Aha, has proved to have somewhat controversial afterlife, with Rolling Stone describing the clip, the video, as, quote, mind blowingly racist, which might be why MTV barely played it, unquote, in a 2018 article. And Stereo Gum called it almost shockingly racist and the probable result of, quote, cocaine logic delirium, unquote, 2 years later. Now, I watched the video. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's been viewed a billion times. There's 220,000 comments on the video. And I started at the newest and just kept scrolling, looking for someone calling it racist. Not one thing about racism. So I don't know what the hell.
You just throw a white band singing about Africa, and these
Well, there
people's
was a black
ears.
girl in the video, but
Yeah, no, the video
respectable,
it's
well
kind of
dressed,
showing.
glasses and stuff.
Yeah, they're talking how it's showing the African cultures like this
So what?
tribal,
It's
but
Africa, the name of the
you know,
song.
you don't know the time period they're trying to,
Sure.
just I don't know,
That
but
does it.
yeah,
They're
it's just
they're
people always
reading
looking
way
for
too
stuff.
much.
Yeah, oh yeah,
They're reading way too much into that nonsense. Because yeah, if you want to go on YouTube, check out the video and look at the comments, folks. There's nobody mentions racism or anything. And it's not it's not the Pulitzer or it's not a Grammy winning video, whatever. But it's not horribly almost shockingly
yeah,
racist.
right.
These douchebags, boy, you people, really, God, that's the thing about getting old is the younger crowd. They're turning into wimps. God, the crap we did back in the day. These people would be having freaking coronaries. Man, get over yourself. It's not shockingly racist. Good grief. It fit in back in the time. Back in the day. And if it was so horrible, it wouldn't be getting a billion views. That's not listening to the
And
song.
getting remade and covered by bands throughout the years, and it's a great song. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it's soft rock schmaltz or whatever, but it's
and
it's a great song. I give
you
it to
are
do.
correct, Doc. And indeed, Africa has been blessed with the rains. The rains have blessed Africa, people. So knock it off. Wait, what's the name of this? Classic Rock. That's the name of this website. So what the hell? It's not racist. Go look at it, you big dopes.
Well,
My
they're
God.
they're quoting Rolling Stone and another outfit,
Rolling Stone. There
British
you go.
Stereo Gum.
That says it.
It's
Yes.
almost
Well,
shockingly racist. Yeah. Okay.
boy,
Whatever.
they're out of their freaking mind.
Yeah. You
Now,
keep.
here's an interesting, sad little story we need to jump on into, if I may, and that's Sheila E., ex drummer, ex Prince drummer, collaborator, and whatnot. And I don't know, this story. At first glance, we think, well, yeah, shame on them. But then when you look into it, she's sort of being a biatch here. Apparently, Paisley Park, his uh, Prince's, recording studio, complex, the whole kit and caboodle. Well, apparently she just strut on in there. She said, okay, here she goes. She said in an Instagram video that she was hurt. She went by there to Paisley Park to pay her respects on Friday, which would have been Prince's 66th birthday, but was not let into a studio. She said that it won't take away from the joy that he and I had together at the studio in suburban Minneapolis, which is now a museum in his memory. She says, I went there to celebrate him, and I wanted to go into the studio and do a live video, take a picture, and they said no. And she says, my heart's broken. I can't even walk into Paisley. That's kind of messed up. Not a nice way to celebrate his birthday. At the same time, just don't go strolling in there like like you're a queen to his prince or whatever, princess to
Yeah.
his.
I don't know. You first hear the story, and it's kind of like, you're not letting Sheila E. into into Paisley Parks. Like it sounds like she should have her own key to the place, pretty much or whatever. And you kind of feel like her and Morris Day, would have like their own key or whatever. Apollonia or the whole group.
Yeah, yeah.
But she she I guess just wanted to show up and make a video and everything, and they said no, we can't accommodate you right now, and she kind of
Ticked off.
took to what, Instagram, yeah, and kind of
Yeah, in a follow-up statement released through her publicist on Monday, Sheila says she now wants the museum to return her old drum kit, which she said Prince personally asked her to
uh
borrow to display there. She said she even heard a tour guide say, "My idol, Sheila E., even has her drums set up in the studio." But then Paisley Park posted on its own Instagram account that it just needed some advance warning. "Hello, Sheila. We love and respect you, and we did offer for you to come in and film in the soundstage or other areas, but we couldn't allow filming in the studios without prior knowledge and planning, especially with tours going on at the time. We hope to have you back to Paisley Park in the future. Just give us a heads up. Happy Prince Day," the message read, ending in a purple heart emoji. So, yeah, you just don't stroll in there unannounced, and I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
You
because
just,
it's a museum now. It's a public. They got people coming through, and
hey
they got
Doc, let's grab a
tours and whatever.
camera. Let's grab a camera heading up to the Field Museum in Chicago, and start doing our show there. They would
Yeah.
appreciate that too. You just don't walk in. Even if she spent a ton of time there, just let us know in advance. So yeah, she sort of screwed up on
Yeah,
this.
she kind of it's just something along the lines of, I was here when this was nothing but dirt and ropes. I was the first one to record here. It's like, well, that's all well and good, but
Yeah,
it's a museum now with tourists. Give us a heads up if you want to do. We would be more than glad to accommodate you. Just give us, a heads up.
boy,
Yeah, she
and
kind of comes across looking like, yeah,
yeah, sort of a yacht. But and Prince had no will, and he died when he died, and so his estate, including Paisley Park, went to his siblings, who later sold most of their shares. His estate's now owned by two corporations: the music management company Primary Wave and Prince Legacy LLC, with a 2% share still held by his sister Tyka Nelson. So they sold out. They sold the heck out. So don't spend all your money in one place. Like I used to get told, by the old farmer who I used to work for, pay me and don't spend it all in one
yeah.
place. Wise, wise. So hopefully they're hanging on to the money at Prince's estate. But come on, Sheila E. You know, it's just respect to the people. I'm coming, but I'd like to come in so and so. Okay, we'll divert the tours so you can do your thing. Yeah, so she screwed up on that one. Way to go, Sheila E. Doggone it. Oh, okay, moving on. Our final item here. This is interesting. There's a study out here, by golly, the sex study. Oh, speaking of there we go. Uh, a new study has found that the Deftones are the most popular metal band to listen to during sex, with Slipknot and System of a Down right behind. In other terms, bringing up the rear, Doc, in second and third place. So, wow, how about that? So, well, why would somebody want to even do this? Study is beyond me. By the way, this is a courtesy of
Oh, I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Consequence Heavy sending us this. But yeah, what the hell's up with that? I don't know.
Yeah, this is done by an outfit called Zip Health, and they found that basically 47% of people listen to music while having sex. So they did the
Sensible,
survey,
sure.
and
Bolero.
yeah, the number one metal band was the Deftones. They were number three overall.
Ah,
Number one was the Weekend.
have
Number
no
two was
idea.
our buddy or the Weekend, the Weekend, and then
Weekend.
the Weekend as opposed to the Strengthened, the
I
Weekend.
have no idea, my brother.
Anyway, number two is Kanye, our buddy Kanye, and then number three, the Deftones, who are the only rock act in the top 10. Number
Hell.
one music for BDSM
Uh-oh.
goes to our good buddy Trent Reznor and Nine Inch Nails
Well, I'm not surprised
with their
there,
lovely
boy.
little ditty "Closer."
I want it. You
Yeah.
like an animal. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about that at all. Good gosh.
Number one song overall to have sex
Oh
with,
boy.
apparently. Nicki
Uh
Minaj, super
really.
freaky girl, whatever. And I'm
No,
like,
yeah.
this new generation, they don't know nothing about
They
what
don't know
music
shit.
does. They don't know.
Put on Led Zeppelin's fourth album. Put on the fourth album
There you go.
and go to town, if I may. Jeez. Yeah, I never heard any of them
Well,
people.
even
What
if you're
the
gonna
hell?
go the more R&B route, man, come on, you gotta throw some Marvin Gaye on,
Motown.
man. You got,
Oh, oh.
dude, Barry White, man. That
Barry
dude was
White.
he was the horniest guy that ever lived, man. That's the guy you got to put on there. Some Barry White, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I love you.
the
Yeah, Barry.
it got me thinking back to times, what was playing during certain situations, and I remember my first time, believe it or not, was Bad Company. Feel like making love. So
Oh
that's perfect. That's
man.
always stuck in my mind.
It's sort of got a thrust and drive to it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember having a sordid little tryst there for a while with some
Sordid little tryst. Ah.
the Stooges raw power album's pretty good, man. Um,
Wow. Oh, that's great, man.
uh,
Well, so good for all the bands and the people having sex to them. You know,
yeah,
it's a good thing for sure. And what a crazy week. Summer's getting brutal. Man, we're in the middle of a monster heat wave here. Right now, we're at about 95 degrees. We are right now in
yeah, heat
beautiful
index probably
upper
triple
Midwest.
digits.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good weekend though. I actually saw a Chris Cornell band, a tribute, and a Pink Floyd tribute, and they were both excellent. So that was very cool, man. Good weather for it.
It's
So
good to go out and support your local bands.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And actually, I may be getting some troops back together myself here, getting a little rock combo. Find a guy with a nice trap kit and
Do it.
we'll go to town. Oh, yeah, I'm working on it, man. I got to make some money in this economy. Oh, how about that? But anyway, enough about me. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Another great week of rock news, and of course we'll follow it up again next week with whatever crazy stuff happens over the week. So I want to thank you all for stopping by. Be sure to, if you can, do the usual behind me. Give a like, maybe subscribe, comment if you wish, and it'd be very cool. So why don't you take us home there, Doc?
Yeah, there's our stories for this week. Who knows what next week will bring, but we'll bring it to you. And yeah, please subscribe so you don't lose us. Comment, yeah, let us know what some of your favorite music to to get busy with
Get
is.
yeah.
I'd love to hear that, man. That'd be awesome. I'd love to know some of your favorite
Absolutely,
stuff. So
absolutely.
yeah, just hit a like, let us know you're out there. And as you know, we do this every week. So until next time, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.